Welcome to IT Weekly, the show that helps you enhance instruction through innovation.
Today's episode, you're going to learn about 3 review tools that you can use in your classroom.
So we're getting into that time of year where we get into that testing season. Final exams are coming up.
EOGs.
Exactly. So we get that testing season for our students in our schools. But I know for you personally, you're getting the countdown is almost over. That you're into that marriage season.
Oh yeah.
You got some
more week.
Yeah. So you got anything special planned that you got coming up?
I was thinking about getting my hair done and maybe my no, not really. No, nothing much. Just gonna get married.
No pedicures, no manicures.
You
be honest. Already running the relationship. That's okay. That's a good thing. But today we're going to focus on 3 review tools that you can use in the classroom. There's a lot of great options out there that you guys are using. We're seeing things like Kahoot being used a lot, things like Google Forms being used a ton. We want to give you some different options that you can use in addition to that. So stay tuned for 3 different tools that you can use for review in your classroom on this week's episode of IT Weekly.
So our first review tool that we're going to talk briefly about is called Socrative. And all you need to do is go to Socrative.com to access this tool. And as you can see in the bottom right hand corner, I have the student view, so you can kind of follow along and see what a student's view will look like. One of the great things about Socrative is that you can use it on any device that connects to the internet. So once you are at Socrative.com, you can create a username and password, and you can log in. So as you can see, I'm already logged in, and I have a room assigned to me. And so all the students will do is they will type in that room number on their device. So once a student is logged in, it'll just say waiting for the teacher to start an activity, and that is when it's the teacher's job to actually start a quiz. And as you can see on the teacher side, you have a choice to start a quiz. So let's go ahead and take a look at that button real quick. So when you start a quiz, you'll have a list of all of your quizzes here. We have a demo quiz here that we'll take a look at. So let's go ahead and select that demo quiz. So when you start a quiz, you're going to get 3 different options, whether or not you want it to be student-paced with immediate feedback, student-paced with student navigation, or teacher-paced. And if you click on each one of these, it will give you a very brief description of what each one of these is. So if you want to do student-paced with immediate feedback, this is like having the students take a quiz and immediately getting responses. You can just select that one and then select Start. And then when you do that, on the student screen, you'll see them where they can enter their name, and then they'll go through every single one of the questions. And then as the student answers questions, you will see on your live results tab here, you will see the students' answers populate right here. So in the row will be the student, and then if you had multiple students in the class, you will see how well they are doing on each question in the columns. And this is the quiz view. So we're going to go ahead and finish this, and we're going to go back to the dashboard. And as you can see on the student device, it's asking for the teacher to start something. So let's say you're talking to your class and you want to get a quick understanding of how well your students are grasping a concept. What you can do is ask a quick question. And let's say you're asking them just out loud, is something true or false? So you'll ask that question, and the students on their device can select true or false. And this, you can use this rather than maybe saying to your students, raise your hand if you think the answer is true, or raise your hand if you think it's false. You can also ask the students quickly a multiple choice question or a short answer question. And we can go back to the dashboard. And you also have a space race, and this kind of allows the students to have a little bit more interactive. You can select a quiz, you can do teams, and a lot of different things with this quiz option. And then you can also use Socrative as an exit ticket to kind of gauge whether or not your students understood the concepts that you went over in class. Overall, Socrative is a great tool for you to use when reviewing your students. It's a lot of different options that you have, so check it out at Socrative.com. So our second review tool we're going to discuss today is called Quizzes, and that's Quizizz.com. And once you go to the website, you can create your own account. And once you've created your account and logged in, the first thing you'll see, and one of the great features of Quizzes, is the ability to search for quizzes. So let's say you want to search for maybe a marketing quiz. You can search for that, and these are different quizzes that everybody in the quizzes platform has shared with each other. So you can create quizzes and share them out as well. And this is a great way to share quizzes maybe amongst people in your school or even within CMS. So you can choose one of these quizzes and then have your students take it. But you can also create quizzes here, and we've created our sample quiz. So I'm going to go to My Quizzes. And as you can see, I've created this quiz right here. So I'm going to select it. And once again, in the bottom right-hand corner, I have my student view. So when you are ready to start your quiz, you can hit play live, or you can actually set your quiz to do for homework. So your students can do the quiz for homework. But we're going to select play live. And then they're going to ask you a couple different options here, whether or not you want to jumble the questions, show answers, and then just a few different game settings down here. But when you're ready to begin, just go ahead and select Proceed. And then it will show you a game code. So once you have that code, you'll give that code to your students, and they will go ahead and type this in on their device. So once the student is logged in on their device, you're going to go ahead and select Start Game. And the students will have a countdown on their screen, and then the quiz will begin. And then those students can just kind of go through and select their answers, and you will see the responses in real time on your device, how all of the students are doing. We obviously know the answer to this question is David. And then the students will just go through and answer all of the questions on that quiz. So what's great about this game is as the students are going through, the faster that they answer the question and get it correctly, the more points that they're going to get. So after each question, the students will actually see a leaderboard, and this way it makes it a little bit more competitive for the students, and it makes it a little bit more fun and engaging. And then when the students are done taking that quiz, you will see a breakdown, once again in row format for each student, and then the different questions are in the columns. You can then review the questions, or you can even export your results. So this is Quizzes. It is a great review tool that you can utilize in your classroom to kind of make things a little bit more engaging and have your students have a little bit more fun with answering questions. Okay, the last review tool that we're going to discuss today is called Formative, and you can get to this tool by going to goformative.com. So once you create your account and you log in, you'll be taken to the dashboard where you'll be able to see a list of all of your assignments that you've created. So the first thing you actually need to do is create your classes. So in order to do that, you can click on the Classes tab, and you'll be taken to a list of all your classes that you've created. So if you need to create a new class, you can just click on Create New Class. And as you will see, each class has been given a different class code. So what you will need to do is you will need to give this class code to your students in order to join your class. And you can create classes based on the period or the subjects that you teach. So let's go ahead and go back to our dashboard, and we'll take a look at one of the assignments that we have already created called Math Review. So as you can see, we have a multiple choice question, we have a show your work question, short answer, and then I have a reference chart where students will need to respond a true-false question based on that reference chart. So as you can see in the bottom right-hand corner, we have our two students, And what the students will do is just click, once they're logged in, they'll click on their class and select the assignment that has been assigned to them. So if the students just go through and fill out their assessment, we will then be able to take a look at the results. So now that the students have completed the assessment, if we just go ahead and select live results at the top and we scroll down, we will see a list of all of the students and the responses to each individual question. So we can just select the question, and then we can see the responses from all of the students, whether it be the show your own work, or if it is a just a short answer or a multiple choice question. You can tell on the right hand side the scores in the class, what percentage got it right and what percentage got it wrong. So let's take a look at how we can actually create an assessment. And creating an assessment is actually extremely simple. So let's go ahead and go back to our dashboard, and we're going to go ahead and select new assignment. So the first thing you're going to do is go ahead and title your assignment. We're just going to call this Math Review 2. And then you're going to you have a choice to either add questions, add content, or you can upload and transform items. So if we just click on add question, you can add multiple choice, show your own work, short answer, or true false question. So let's go ahead and select multiple choice, and I'm going to say, what is 4 plus 4? And then you can just go in and you type in some possible responses, and then you're going to select you're going to select the correct answer. If you need to type in some help text to help the students, you can do that, and you can also change the point value for each question. And then when you're ready to create another question, you can just go ahead and select add question, and then select true false. We'll do that, a true false question. So we're going to say $15 is more than 10% of $100. And the answer is true. And then we are ready to either change a point value, or if we don't like the question that we've chosen, we can actually delete the question by selecting this trash can right here. And if we want to move this question to the first, change the order, we can just select the arrows on the upper right hand corner for each question. Then you can also add content to your assignments as well. You can add an image, you can add a block of text, a view-only canvas, as well as you can link to a YouTube video. So all you'll do is give your video a title, and then go ahead and paste the URL of that video here. So when you are done with your assessment, in the upper right-hand corner, you're going to click Assign. And then you will see a list of all of your classes. So you can enable this for everyone, or you can just enable it for your classes. So we're going to enable it for our math class. And you can see here we have a couple choices. Right now we're going to leave it open so students can respond. We can also, when it's done, when we're done and we don't want students to answer the assignment anymore, we can close it and they'll be able to see their scoring. Or we can do instant scoring here as well. So we're just going to leave it open, and then we're going to go ahead and go back to the dashboard for both of our students over here. And if you click on the math class, you will then see Math Review 2 under each of our students, and then they will be able to go through and answer these assignments. So after that is done, you can actually go in. Let's go back to our first assignment that we had the students do, and you can view the live results. And one thing we forgot to go over was the ability to export the results. So you can just click on this export button right here, and the results will be exported in a CSV file that you can open up in Microsoft Excel. So this is a very brief overview of Formative, and you can access this tool by going to goformative.com.
So those were some good review tools that you can use inside of your classroom. We wanted to give you some different options out there. We know that you guys are using things like Google Forms. Those are all great ones, but we wanted to just put some additional ones out there that you can utilize in your tool belt for review.
Yeah, be a little bit more creative in the classroom with your students when you're reviewing for those testing and school.
Exactly.
Guys, once again, Twitter, our website, our CMS Learns email. Make sure you guys hit us up. Thanks again for tuning in. Make sure you guys check us out next week for another edition of IT Weekly.